Hi there, friends. Welcome to my channel. This is Chris with Peace of Mind, and I'm back after a couple of weeks. I had a bad congestion, and my voice was really bad. It still is, actually. So I'm going to try to make this video short. Excuse me. I'm continuing on my new kit that I have, the slow stitch kit. It's the Beach House. And this is the one that comes with the pattern. So let me show you that. And this one is one that I have been working on that's almost done. So we'll kind of finish that up here, and I'll show you the stitches that I used and so on. This is the pattern that it comes with, and you will get this with the kit, so that you can and you can maneuver this around the way that you want it. You might want to make the road or the driveway shorter and have the house be a little bit bigger or smaller, or however you want to do it. But that's the general pattern. A lot of my kits do not come with patterns. You just it's kind of more of a arranging the different things into a pleasing arrangement, and then doing your slow stitching on top of that. And those are fun as well. Okay, so this one, since I last saw you, what I've done is most of the stitching, and I added some shells down here. I don't know if you can see, these are three-dimensional shells. I'll try to move it up slowly so you can see it better. So, three-dimensional shells that have a little holes in them that you can use them as beads. And I couldn't resist. I had a little cat in there. You don't have to add that, of course. I'll try to put one in with each kit. Just because I thought that was kind of the right size for that area. Those of you that have cats know that they probably stay in the house most of the time. What I did over here was I overlapped this. This is actually to the side of the road, and the reason I did it like this is because I wanted partially to cover over here on this side. So what I did was I just arranged it beyond the border, and what I can do then is turn it over, and I'll clip it off. I'll leave a little bit more than necessary on the edge there, just so we get it fairly even. And then that way it makes it look like it's coming from the side, and it's kind of hanging over the road there. So that's why I waited here. Now on the road, I did use some fabric, and I cut it into pieces and sewed it down. It's a bit fiddly to do that. You might not want to do that quite the way that I did it. You might either want to leave it just the muslin and then do just the stitching. That would look awesome as well, to indicate the road or the driveway. So just, kind of use your imagination, do whatever. And here's where I have the garden. Here's where you can come in up on the deck and then go in the front door. I'm just finishing off the windows and the doors, and I'll show you a little how I did that. I stitched the house down. I don't know if you can see these white stitches, and I used a kind of a neutral thread because I didn't want it to show too much. I have too many lines in there. And now I'm using a darker, like a charcoal color, to go around the edges of the windows and the door. Okay, this window that was smaller, I didn't actually use a piece of fabric. I just drew the window, and then I went along with the thread to make the lines for the window. These windows, I used a tiny piece of fabric underneath, and I'm going to sew them down kind of on the edges, trying to stick to trying to stick to the edges on here. And this is kind of a one stitch deal rather than trying to do a running stitch. And what I can do is I can come down here and then go up to meet this one here. Okay, and then on here, go over here and go back over to meet that one. Okay, then I have sewn all the way around the window. I tried to make it look like this window was open, so I have the sill here. And here's the panes of the window. I'm only using like 2 strands of embroidery floss on this because it is quite small, and you don't want to, with this detail, you don't want to use a real, you know, like 6 strands or anything like that. So try to use either 1 or 2 strands on the small areas. Okay, and then I made the panes in the window. Now I can move over to this one, and I would do that one the same way. Here on the top, I can just go across once probably, and then as we discussed in the first part, I used a little bit of glue stick to glue down the pieces. I didn't glue the entire piece down, just to tack it down, and that way you can sew through that piece of glue, and it's not gonna hurt the needle at all or anything. And you have to wait till the glue is dry, though, please. Otherwise, you can gum up your needle. Okay, let's go across here. And we'll go back up. Some of these little pieces might fray because they're so tiny. That's okay, don't worry about it. You don't have to sew down every single little frayed edge of it. That's the charm of it. Okay, now I'm going to sew the window pane. It's the bottom of the window sill. If you don't want to use these pieces underneath the thread, you can just use your dark or charcoal thread and just sew the windows like I'm doing now without. You can draw them on there first and sew them on there. Okay, so that looks kind of nice. Okay, now I'm going to move over to the door, and I'll finish that up in a bit. I was going to show you some of the other stitches I used on here. I just did the slow stitch or the running stitch in the sky and the ocean. This is kind of like an inlet here where, excuse me, where the ocean goes out, and then you probably go around here and go out to the bigger part of the ocean. A lot of places all along the East Coast, and I guess any coast really are like that. They they don't immediately like look right out to the ocean. Some of them have like inlets, and so it makes it actually better as far as the weather to build a house there, I guess is what I'm saying. Excuse me a moment. Okay, so I use a straight stitch a lot on here, along the side of the trees here in the background. I used a running stitch, as well as here a running stitch. For the fence, I used like 2 strands of white thread, and I kind of tacked it down here and there. And then down here, I used some colors of thread to tack it down here and there to kind of indicate flowers. And then I used this little embroidered rose fabric, which will come with the kit, for the border of the roses along the fence. Okay, let's see. And I said I used a straight stitch to do the road, and I'm going to tack this down probably with possibly a green fabric, and maybe do some little stems in there. So then I'll be finished. If I want to, I can sew around the outside with a blanket stitch, or this can go right into a book. It can go on a front cover of a journal. Various uses for it. As you all know, the beauty of slow stitching is actually the making of it. It's very meditative. Okay, so I was going to show you once again, if you want some particular color for your house to be, or your, for me to include with it, please let me know when you order, and I'll try to get you, like, if you want a yellow house, if you want a blue house, or if you want a flowered house, I'll try to do that for you as much as possible. Some of the other things might not be exact. This one I made, I'm gonna move the house down a little bit, and it's gonna be a flowered house. Okay, I might have this just a little bit too big, so I'm going to cut that down a little bit. And you can do the same. It doesn't have to be exact. Okay, this time I'm going to use this fabric for the deck. And what you can do when you get your kit and you get your fabrics, or if you're making this without a kit, is you just kind of audition where you want to put things. This was going to be the ocean, so we could start back here, and here, and of course I can cut a piece that was longer to fit across there. This I think I'm going to use as the garden. It's kind of a darker green, but I think that'll work. And then as far as the fence was this was my fence pattern, and it goes across here. Now you can use, I showed in the last video how to do the fence, so refer to part 1 of this. I thought that I might use this for the fence. Okay, so this is the part of the garden this would be the part of the garden that was outside the fence. And then I can draw my road in here however I want to do it, or I can maybe I might want this for the house if I get a piece like that. Make it more neutral. Just work with what you have. Or in the case of a kit, work with what I send you. And it's really fun. It's really a fun kit. Here's another part of the fence that I'm going to use that for the fence. Excuse me. Keep doing that. It's just an example of how you can use other fabrics. Let's see, what did I do with it? Oh, here it is. Let me bring this back again to show you. So I'll try to get this, before I put this video on, I'll try to get this kit listed in my Etsy shop. It will be the same price as the other kits. And I hope that you can order it. If you don't want to order it, like I said, you can try doing it on your own. It's just an idea. The pattern will come with it if you do order the kit. So I want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas. It's coming up in a few days. And I hope that you all have a great start to your new year. And that you take care. And I wish you peace of mind. Thank you.